All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of Gar Capital. It's been a couple days since I've done the Morning Note. As we know, it is a holiday week. Yesterday was Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth to everyone who does celebrate the abolition of slavery in the United States. It's important to keep history alive. It's a good thing that we have these holidays to at least give us observance of it. But glad to be with you. It's kind of weird that you get that holiday right in the middle of the week. Um, Very similar to like Thanksgiving on a Thursday. The Wednesday before Thanksgiving, the last thing you're thinking about is work. Anybody who's working, obviously, that's usually like your travel day. Friday after Thanksgiving, it's Black Friday. We know the drill. Not a lot of people are probably working that day. I'm kind of treating this like a Thanksgiving holiday in that sense. Does that mean that there's nothing to do? No, it just means that we know the expectation in terms of volume. And take a look here at the S&P. The blue bars here at the bottom are your volume bars. Since Thursday of last week, it's just been straight down. So again, there's no real reason to push the envelope for just because, especially in a short week. At least next week we get a full week in June and we can see what we can do. And we're actually getting near another earnings season turnaround, starting with the banks, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Citi, those boys. They'll be reporting, I think, in about 2 weeks. So, still stuff to do and look for. And July seasonality, the beginning of July, the first 10 days are one of the strongest days for the S&P 500. So this rally has legs. You're still early here, guys. This is nothing where, brand new. We know that we're going to go higher, but obviously NVIDIA being the big boy helping us out to accelerate these plans. So with that being said, let's talk about it. Dow futures are down 43 points. NASDAQ's up 71. A lot of that is King NVIDIA. We know what it is. NVIDIA's God mode right now. Just for anyone who is interested in NVIDIA saying, what is the next target? You'd have to do a golden extension based on the Fibonacci charts. This is post split. We know the drill. This used to be a $1,200 stock before split. It is now at 135. If we're playing the reverse split game, it's $1,350 a stock in a sense. Just do the 10. So, with that being said, 150.78. I'm pretty sure very soon, if not today or first thing in the morning, the 150 strike will be a strike for a lot of selling, a lot of call selling. This is individuals who probably own the stock. They could do naked selling or covered, doesn't matter. But with that being said, they're probably selling a lot of these options for the capped upside risk. They'll collect the premium versus, just holding the stock alone. So be on the lookout for the 150s. If you are feeling bullish here and you feel that, hey, NVIDIA is pretty much no breaks to the moon, the 150 calls with time, you buy them for possibly July, playing that seasonality possibly, that's a very attractive trade in my opinion. Hell, even selling the 150 calls is not even, it's not too bad either. I just wouldn't do it naked. You want to own the stock, obviously. But I think if you want to play the momentum, break 140. I think that's fair for everybody. If you break 140, which we aren't, we sustain above that, then the 150 calls with some time. July, August might be a little expensive, but we want to buy a little bit of time and possibly one more earnings. That'd be great. If we can get one more earnings print, maybe you buy the August calls, then NVIDIA, that's pretty much the only way I can see ourselves trading it unless we start breaking some levels below 125 or so. Okay, guys, that's about $10 away. So we're just going to have to wait on that. And that's the question I get pretty much every day now. And again, guys, it's nothing new in 2021 with Tesla. It's nothing new in 2014. Or was it 2014 with Apple? Rinse and repeat. A lot of stocks went up. A lot of great names have been doing well. So NVIDIA is just part of that at this moment. So kudos to them. And we're going to keep an eye on them, obviously, as happy shareholders. And we're going to see what we get. So again, 150. Let's let that be our target for now. The Russell's down 0.28%. I just have a question here regarding IWM calls. So the assumption is here is that you want to buy the dip. Fair enough. Let's go to the daily, even though we got a little bit of movement here. Below 197.34 would probably be the best short down to 193. It's really just chopping here though, Cobra. So you see the 20-day moving average, get above 203, and then I would say IWM calls, but you're still down. And that ratio of IWM versus SPY is getting very, very ugly, meaning that SPY, NASDAQ is outpacing small caps and outpacing industrials, outpacing value stocks, energy stocks, those names. It starts to get very, very wide, that disparity. It doesn't last forever, guys. You're going to get a rotation somehow, some way. If you guys remember 2023 July, everyone remembers when we were talking about how the possibility of the dollar spike. So again, if you want to check it out on YouTube, 2023 July, we talked about where we were going to get that pullback based on rates and based on seasonality, such and such. Even the beginning of July was very strong. I think we shorted Microsoft that week or something like that, and it worked out for everybody. But yeah, trees don't grow to the sky. Again, it's just hard to trade all-time highs is all. And we just need a little bit of a breather. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for a meltdown. I'm not that guy. All I want is at least an opportunity for everyone else to get a crack at it. Let's just say. Crude oil is up 0.64%. Gasoline futures is up 1%. A little too late for my XOM calls, unfortunately. Silver up 2%. Gold up 0.21. Copper up 1.31. Even the dollar's up. So pretty much everything is green except the Dow, the Russell. Yields are up. The VIX is up. What else? Interesting. Dollar yen is up too. And that's what stocks being higher. But a lot of this is NVIDIA. I got to see where equal weight S&P is. Equal weight S&P, again, we take all 500 stocks. We make them equal, unlike the S&P 500, which is a market cap weighted index. So again, the larger the company, the more weighting it's going to have. NVIDIA being the largest weight, that's going to be rebalanced. This is no different than when Tesla was added to the S&P 500. They were added to the NASDAQ 100, and they got that big boost. And eventually, they pulled back too. Hey, Tesla's actually underperforming this year, as we know. So that's where we are currently. We can account this to a short week. Can kind of count this to this low volume. I mean, I'm not seeing tons of buying here, especially on S&P, Russell, or anything special. Even NVIDIA volume is falling. Again, I don't see that big demand as of yet. So kind of a slow melt up grind, it seems like. And that's kind of the reason why I didn't do videos lately, is because it gets rather redundant, just repeating the same thing. I was kind of hoping, if we get some kind of pullback, we could do like a video and talk about it. Buy the dip scenario, such and such, but we just haven't had it yet. It's been an absolute monster. This is the best S&P 500 performing first half of a year in an election year ever. I mean, this is pretty nice. It's good. And it's good to see. Very good to see. Been doing it for so long, so you see so many of them, but it's still great. Bitcoin, 66,000, 3586 on Ethereum. Even crypto's green. So a green Thursday, which is nice. I think I have, let me see if I can re-rotate this. There you go. You know what? Let's go over S&P real quick. Then I'll get to the questions. All right. So you see this trend line here, guys? Pretty clean. Obviously, we broke down here. So we can remove this. This was a long time ago, that big drop. That was the April OPEX drop. Memory serves me. And you can see kind of that trend line. We're kind of knocking on the door. Let's get above, I can't believe I'm saying this, 5,600. We can get above 5605. Let's say 0905, 5610, just to confirm. That's right above, actually a little more, a little less actually, right above that trend line. And then if you get there, that's where things get fun. 6465 is your golden Fibonacci extension. I can't believe I'm saying that. 6465. Yeah. So with that being said, if we get above this trend line, 5,900, you're just back in the channel. Imagine that, 5,900. So again, we're still early innings in this ball game, in my opinion. The bull market is still relatively young. Remember, the bottom was in October of 2022. We're not even in year 2, guys. Most bull markets last about, I see on average about 4 to 5 years, I would say. Again, you start getting some deviations with some crazy stuff going on, COVID crashes, blah, blah, blah. Everything is different. It's never the same. But again, on average, it's about 4 to 5 years for a bull market. We're in year 2 in an expansionary phase. So let's see what we get. SPY and Apple options. Let's see it's SPY. Yeah, I think we talked about SPY on the watch list for the week, the stocks I'm watching. I said I kept it easy, SPY and Qs, and Apple puts. I mean, that didn't work out. Apple just moved higher, but it's still choppy. In terms of SPY, let's take a look at it. Again, the same kind of trend line, same deal. So 556, if you can get above 551, then you can do the 556 calls, 556 to 560. And Lord help me, we're right near the golden Fibonacci at 561. Wow. And then after that, it's really not no man's land on that. We'd have to redo the Fibonacci levels, but 561, I guess, would be your hard resistance, or maybe 556. Yeah. In terms of Apple, let's see it. Yeah, Apple's just kind of hovering around here. Nothing really to do. I want to short. I'm all about it if we can get there. But because it's been overbought, but we just haven't had the alert yet. That's all. Unfortunately, I don't know how long this chop will be. It is down this morning. I think there was a hack. There was a news here from the live market blog here in our Discord. Let's see it. Here we go. The Apple one. Has Apple been hacked? This is from Forbes. Hacker claims June 2024 breach exposes source code. So that's probably why the stock is down this morning. But again, it is overbought. So have an alert at 210.91 and an alert above 220.15. We're right in the midpoint there. So let's see if we can get out of midfield and see if we can get something out of it. Palantir. Yep, we did Palantir this week. That was a nice one. Of course, I may have closed a little too early in terms of the signal. But Masterclass and the regular options played Palantir. Masterclass had this week's 25s. The signal was for July 25s. That's deep in the money now. The speculation is on Palantir that they will be added to the S&P 500. I don't know that for a fact. So again, it's just speculation. Could this be the reason of the buying? It's some news regarding some space company. I got to read it to you guys. Hold on a second. Live market blog. Here we go. Here we go. Palantir and Star Labs space partner. So there's a partnership there. That's why the stock is higher. But if we look at just the technicals here, again, trend line up, all good. We never filled this gap. Remember, we were talking about that. I was still waiting for $20 a share. Then it just popped. 26.04. We're above that now. We're just going to see if we can get to 27 and a hook, or 27 and a half. Sorry, that's the sportsbook talk. So 27 and a half if we break, and if we expand it just a quite more, you could see you have a massive weekly gap from 2021 at 31.32. So again, Palantir has yet to break out on the larger time frames. I love Palantir long term. Been saying that forever, but it's looking very good here. Nice cup. Could this be the handle? It's been negated. We need to get above right around $30. If we can break this gap of 31.19, sky's the limit. 45 is the all-time high from November of 2021, team. So Palantir still relatively early. If we can get above the recent highs, I want to get for the 27.5 calls. I want to buy time on those 27 or 27.5 calls. I'll probably be conservative and do the 27 calls because they're not too expensive. Meta was part of the watch list this week as well. Has not broken my alert. I just want 515.52 to break. If that does, then I want to play calls to 531 to 550. More than likely the 550 calls. But again, I need that break first. NVIDIA level to buy the stock. You can dollar cost average it. That's probably the best way to do anything. It's every week you buy a little or whatever you like. Really, NVIDIA here, it's basically saying, do you want to buy Air Jordan sneakers at a StockX standalone store in Las Vegas Boulevard on New Year's Eve? Like, think about it. Everyone is going to be trying to buy at that point. So the price goes up. I'm trying to make the analogy of demand. Again, I'm not saying those Air Jordans are not great. I'm not saying I don't need it. I just think, in my opinion, that any kind of dip would be nice. I just don't like buying when it just keeps going higher. Eventually, yes, you will get a cool down period. 136.68 is a small gap fill. I am pretty sure we are going to fill that very soon. So that would be a nice first start for anyone who wants to buy. How's that? And I know everyone gets excited for a stock that moves higher. I mean, pick your name. Zoom, ARKK. Remember when Metaverse soared? NVIDIA, Tesla. I'm trying to think of the other names that have gone bananas. And again, it's just rinse and repeat. Microsoft gets hot, Apple gets hot, NVIDIA gets hot, Tesla got hot. I think Tesla will probably be the best analogy. But with that being said, you're just going to get this rotation. There's going to be a time when NVIDIA will correct. And I think that's kind of the moment you're looking for in terms of buying. Just not here at all-time highs just to get in. Now, could it go to 150 and then we kind of missed this 139 addition? Yeah, I guess. But I think it's just better to be prepared for really the inevitable. The stock will go down. I promise you, somehow, some way, you will get some kind of pullback. I don't know when, but some kind of 5% pullback. Come on, that happens all the time. Disney calls. Let's look at it. Disney, what do we need here? Disney needs 107.71. That's exactly what that needs. If we can get above there, there's a gap to fill at 112.98. But as of right now, I'm actually looking to short. If we get below 98.07, that's the 200-day. Does it hockey save it? We will see. But that's what I'm seeing here. PANW. Palo Alto, right? Palo Alto Networks? Yeah. Palo Alto Networks, I may be wrong. Maybe I'm confusing the name. I think there was talk about a possibility of another of a stock split for the company. So, like a 10 for 1 would bring this down to around $31 a share. Palo Alto Networks, Broadcom, I think it was Broadcom is doing the stock split just like NVIDIA. Obviously, would Palo Alto be next? Let's assume that they don't. 327.48 is the breakout level. If you break that, you have a gap to fill at 359.74. Does that always work? No, because I had a trade for Intel that is currently not working, setting up on that gap fill. Same with Nike. I was up 27%. I didn't close, and it pulled back. Pain in the ass. That's just the reality of trading. But it worked for Starbucks and Target. So the saying goes, it always works until it doesn't. So if we break 327.48 and there's some options volume around the 360 strike, 350 strike, that would be interesting to play the gap fill. It may be a little expensive relative to the stock price, as we know. But if you're just looking to buy the dip here on this stock and you're just wanting to get some exposure, 327.48 would be a nice start. Then you keep the stop pretty tight, like right around 300. If you're looking to trade it, if you're looking to just own it, 327, have fun. I mean, this is a good company. Obviously, Palo Alto, I've heard of them. They are part of the NASDAQ 100. So it's not like it's going to go to zero anytime soon. Again, you got to pull back, held the 200-day. That's usually a good sign of an upward trend. So there we are. Have a great rest of your morning, guys. Thank you so much for joining me again. I apologize for not doing the videos lately. Again, don't want to waste your time. That's kind of the big thing. I just don't want to repeat myself and bore you guys to death. Work at home or going to college or going to a regular office is boring enough. Last thing I want to do is put you guys to sleep. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you guys tomorrow. Cheers all.